That's incredible. That's incredible. And there is an element to your story which I believe it is very important to highlight even to our viewers out there, in the sense that you are of the Igbo tribe.
Exactly.
Good. But looking into your family history, you have all been academicians.
Exactly.
There is this general belief from where we came from that the Igbos majorly are into business. Not though that this is not true, that it is true. It's a fact. I for one used to think that it's a stereotypical idea concerning the Igbos. But the fact remains that majority of Igbos, based on my experience, they're into business as well. But it's kind of crazy that at the same time, majority of Igbos, they are academicians, they are technocrats.
Exactly.
I mean, I know a lot of IT guys that are Igbos and the rest, and this is something that oftentimes we do not highlight even in our informal discussions and the rest. Majority of Igbos, if I'm mistaken, you correct me, majority of them are academicians, or am I wrong?
You're correct. You're correct because, I would say that I don't want to be stereotypical. I would say that the Igbos are people that are, ambitious, very ambitious.
It's a fact.
And they may not, I guess they are into business, but a whole lot of Igbo people are also academicians. The thing is that the factor there is that the ambitiousness of an Igbo man, if he is an academician, he goes to the extreme. If he's a businessman, he goes to the extreme. Whatever an Igbo man does, he wants to be the best
in it.
So that is the general, the general idea of that Igbo man. Is he a businessman? He wants to be the best. And there's this, system in Igbo land that have really worked, and I believe it has been, globalized. Globalized in the sense that recently I was watching the TV and I saw that even the whites, they began, even Europeans, they bought into that idea. I saw most of these international media houses go into our country and they want to know about that system. The system is the apprenticeship system.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
I heard about it. There was a study done on it by Harvard.
Exactly. And it has
in 2021, I heard about it.
So it has become something. It is something that emanated from the Igbo man.
Yes.
The Igbo man is that kind of person that will go into any field of play, not just business, any field of play. Then when he becomes successful, he goes back home, gets younger ones that are willing to learn under him, those that are willing to serve.
Among his kinsmen.
Yes, among his kinsmen. Then within a period of time, it can be 5 years, can be 7 years. I also went through the system. So within a period of time, what happens is that as soon as the young chap is matured in that line or in that area of endeavor, what happens is that the boss that we're talking about will then settle him, set him up in that line of endeavor so that he too can do well and then go back home, pick someone else that he has, just like he was picked up then, and then come back and then groom such a person to become whoever he wants to be. And then that person is also obliged to go back up. So it's a system that has really worked, over time. So that is one thing we need to know about the Igbo man. The Igbo man is just somebody that wants to succeed
in every of his endeavors.
Even though most times, because in every field there are always bad players in it.
Of course.
But the general knowledge is that the Igbo man is that man that wants to succeed, that wants to be ahead of his game in his endeavor.
That is
whether
true.
he's into business, he's into academics, whatever.
Mr. Obinna, what we want to do with this podcast, our aim is to be able to highlight the good element of our society. There is enough entities out there that are majorly focused on the bad apples in our society. our business here is not to amplify them. There are enough people talking about it already. What happens most of the time is that for the fact there are enough entities, bad stories sells. There are enough of them out there already. We make it an effort on our own through this podcast to be able to meet incredible individuals like yourself, leaders that are doing great and amazing things in every of the society that they find themselves, contributing positively to that society. Our business is to highlight them.
Okay.
So irrespective of what anyone may have been thinking about, in brackets, the Igbos or Nigeria as a whole, fine. But there is this other part of our story that the world should know about us. That is exactly what we want to do. Let us not worry ourselves about the bad apple and whatever anybody is thinking or talking about them. Our duty is to highlight the positive elements, yes, in our society that are doing wonders around the world. You talk about the apprenticeship system in the Igbo society. I was fortunate enough to learn about it, and like I was saying, I knew for a fact that the Harvard University did a study on it, and it was proven, or it proved to have been of an important aspect in the Igbo society, bara Nigerian society, because after the Biafra War, through that apprenticeship system, the Igbos were able to rise again, practicing that system, and the number of middle class based on the Nigerian society among the Igbo groups increased. I know this for a fact because I came across this study and I met someone some time ago when I was in Africa, about 2-3 years ago, the last time I visited Africa, that spoke about it, that actually enlightened me concerning this particular aspect. And I will encourage all of my viewers or anybody that come across this podcast that want to know much more about the Igbo apprenticeship system that is practiced in Nigeria. I will encourage each and every one of you to study it and see how it can even be applied or exported to every other part of the world, because it's something that that could help any society struggling at the moment, especially in an underdeveloped society around the world. I will encourage you all to take note of this and see how it can be replicated around the world. Mr. Obinna, you said yourself that you go through this kind of system, the apprenticeship system. My question therefore is, what were you doing when you were in Nigeria?
Okay.
What was your profession?
Let me quickly add that the system, this apprenticeship system, is being practiced by China
as we speak,
and it has, that is why China is, if not number 2, number 1 in the world when it comes to economy.
Okay.
Because this is a system that looks into, that takes off a system that takes off its eyes from government, because government cannot do everything for you. One of the past presidents of America said, don't think of what government will do for you, think of what you can do for the government. So these people hijacked this system, and they have been doing so well. That is why even the government is not supporting. Their government is not supporting, small scale traders.
You mean the Chinese government?
Chinese government, yeah, they support small scale traders, and they enable them financially. What they do is they allow them to go into this system, learn how the business is run. Then when they are okay, because one thing about business is that you spend time learning it. It's not something that you just go to them by tomorrow want to set up your own. You must have adequate knowledge of what you are into, so that by the time you start, you will succeed. So by the time they spend these years, 5 to 6 to 7 years, and they go back to their government, what the government
in a particular sector, they spend about 7 years in a particular sector.
Yes. Depending on how vast that sector is.
Good.
Because you need to grow root downwards to bear fruit upwards. You need to grow root downwards to bear fruit upwards. So you need to be, deep in a particular sector for you to have full knowledge of it. It is not casual knowledge. So When they do this, they go back home to their government. Their government sponsors that business for them by raising funds for them, and they excel. When they excel, they go back home, get somebody that is, willing to learn, and they set such a person up. After the person must have learned within the year, depending on how vast the
The
business
agreement and
you
everything.
understand. So I also went through that system, and it was after school, when I finished with my school, I wanted to do business. I've always known that I wanted to do business, and that is why I have always seen myself as not being able to, it's good for you to know what you want early in life.
Absolutely.
So I discovered what I wanted early in life, and what I did was I went and I decided to, learn under a boss, under my boss then. And because I was very young, I decided to stay with him for, for 7 years. And within those 7 years, I became so grounded because we were doing as at that time, he was into 3 chains of businesses, 3 major chains of businesses. So I needed to, spend more time with him in order to capture fully
the 3 chains of business that he was into.
So when I was able to, capture this from the 3 areas, what he did was he set me up in business, and then I started doing well.